Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. My very, very dear uncle, Rashid Ahmad Sahab, very honorable guests, ladies and gentlemen. It's been a pleasure seeing how Rashid Ahmad Sahab has organized this Pakistan Edible Oil Conference, and great pleasure to see a lot of old faces, including Majid Safir. But when we look at our industry and see how the industry performs, it gives me great pleasure as Minister of Industry that industry is meeting the demand of edible oil in the country, which is close to 5 million tons. And industry is processing that, industry is marketing that, industry is branding it, industry has very strong backup, supply chain support, supply chain relationship. Thank you very much, all of you, all the delegates from Indonesia and Malaysia and all the large companies who are here. And it shows the strength of our industry and especially the organization skills of Rashid Ahmad Sahab, who has made and put them all together 6 times in a row in this conference. We have to realize Pakistan is an agriculture country. And when we look at it, I was looking at figures from 2001. And in 2001, we used to import about 1 million tons, $1 billion, with an average of $1,000 per ton. And it touched 5 million tons or $5 billion. As an agriculture country, it's our responsibility that we need to work on supply chains. No country can work without any structures of supply chain productions when you have your own lands available and you have all resources available. I pay my highest respects to our brothers from Indonesia who have supplied a very sustainable and great edible oil product, and Malaysia. Now, as your true brothers, Pakistan needs your support. Indonesia is looking at that 16 million hectares of land they cultivated last year, producing 53 million tons, close to $53 billion of production, and with their 20 million consumption domestically, increasing consumption to biodiesels, and then they are also looking at decreasing exports from 30 million tons this year to 29, so there is no dearth. And they are looking at as their major cash crop. Pakistan has to make a strategy. Captain Mahmood is there. We've worked with him for a very long time. We need to give 5 years. Pakistan, with the same yieldage, I was just calculating, we're talking about 3.3 tons per hectare. If it's 16 million hectares, 53 million tons, means 3.3 tons per hectare. For that Pakistan consumption, we only need 1.5 million hectares. And for 1.5 million hectares, we need to allocate this land now, and progressively in next 5 years, we need to cultivate, looking forward, how to have our indigenous consumption catered domestically through local production. But for that, industry has to play the role. Nowhere in the world Government plays a role. Government is a facilitator. Government's job is not to do business. Government's job is to make a policy. And government's job is to facilitate. So, as government today, we are here to facilitate the Edible Oil Association. We are here to request Indonesia on state level, in Malaysia on state level. We need to work together. We have now the Federation President from Edible Oil Industry. We have Jan Mohammed Saab as the heading Westbury and one of the father figures of the complete industry. I would request that Captain Mahmood and I have these 4 people in the committee, and we must form a report in 2 weeks' time as a strategy to make a policy how we are going to, I'm going to facilitate 1.5 million hectares of land. You don't have to buy, the government will facilitate. So this is 3.3 million acres or 3.5 million acres of land. And we invite joint ventures from Indonesia, the companies are here. We invite joint ventures from Malaysia, the companies are here, work with us. Let's develop this and let's develop this another center of production, just like Indonesia and Malaysia. Knowledge is for sharing. And I believe if that knowledge will be shared with Pakistan, by Malaysia and Indonesia, that would only help us both grow together. Today we have a trade deficit with Indonesia and Malaysia, and we love our relationships with our brotherly countries. But if I look at you and I'll just share with you that my 150 days in office, 5 months, I have deficit with every country. My deficit is reported as current account deficit, which is reported as $26 billion. But it's not $26 billion. That's the net deficit. The gross deficit is $43 billion. So you have to add back the trade surpluses I have with US, European Union, and UK. If I add them back to $16 billion, my trade deficit is $43 billion. I have trade deficit with every country I'm trading with, except these 3 countries I have surplus with. So our businessmen have to come forward. Look, these companies are here, they're marketing $4 billion of their products. We need to go and market our products. I just coming from Cairo this morning, MENA region, we held the conference. We have a deficit of $17.5 billion from MENA. We import $20 billion from MENA and we export $2.5 billion. We have a $17.5 billion deficit only from MENA region. We have a $20 billion deficit from China. Just looking at, we have a deficit of Malaysia is hardly 2.75. We have a deficit. Wherever I touch, we have a deficit and we don't go and market our product. Our aim and objective has to be, first, as an agrarian country, my message to the businessmen here, you're great in processing your industry. Suki is a great brand. Dalda is a great brand. Mizan is a great brand. You've done a great job, all of you. You all need to go back now. Think, this country needs you. We can't sustain $43 billion deficit. This is not the doing of government. We continue to go back and blame government. It's not the government. It's me. It's you. It's the job of the private sector. You who made your organizations weak. Edible Oil Association, Federation should have come much before. We ended in this crisis, current account deficit, not for the first time. Imagine a country having $20 billion deficit with $23 billion repayment in 22. That's what the status was. $23 billion repayment and $20 billion current account deficit. Which country in the world would look at you and say, we are ready to help you? This is a world of trade and economics. $20 billion current account deficit. And we have a repayment of $23 billion. We had taken goods and we had no money to repay. That's where we took from. Alhamdulillah, if you look at now, 23 was a very strong year. We reduced our current account deficit to less than $5 billion. Yes, it was very painful, curtailed, it was very painful. We had to follow the policy, which was reforms by IMF, and we had to devalue from 160 to 285. Very painful in 1 year. But there was no dollar. We had to curtail. We still gave dollars for edible oil. We still gave dollars for all the necessary goods. Now we have come up, back again. In July onwards, if you look at it, our exports had gone down to $2.068 billion, less than $2.1 billion. We are up, without our main engine of growth, textile performing, we are up to 2.8. So $700 million increase on 1 month figure. $700 million without textiles, which means agriculture and non-textile. So this was the scope potential there, your potential. What did we do in 5 months as caretakers? We just went. I think I have been flying 100 hours a month. I used to fly 20 hours a year, one for summer holidays and one for Umrah. That was it. I've been flying 100 hours a month just marketing Pakistan, opening doors from China to GCC to MENA to Africa for you. You need to travel. You can't sit home and market. Your goods nobody would buy. I would just share just one product. They wanted $8 billion, African countries yesterday. Just one product they wanted $8 billion. Now we need to go and market. There is so much potential in the world. You have all the potential. I had energy issues. And because of the energy issues, we didn't push textile and manufactured goods. But look at it. When there was a well, it went up from 2.1 to 2.8, $700 million a month. Just without textile and without manufacturing. So it's $8.5 billion annual. You have done it. We have just opened the doors. So you have to do now as industry. I want you, if Sufi is consuming X tons, you need to produce 2X. If Dalda is consuming 1X, I want Dalda to produce 2X. That's got to be your vision in 5 years. You are our people. Pakistan is going to be taken forward by you. Pakistan will not be taken forward by anybody other than you. We are facilitators. Captain Mahmood can make a policy for you. Captain Mahmood is not going to grow for you. Captain Mahmood is not going to do research for you. You have to do it. You have to do your research centers. You have to plan. You have to believe, because this is your business. What happened otherwise? Your wealth decreased by half in 1 year because of current account deficit. Now you as industry, you as one industry are giving me $5 billion deficit. One industry. I am here with you, holding your hand, standing with you. Take anything from me. Land. You want me to take me to Jakarta, I'll go to Jakarta. You want me to go to Kuala Lumpur, I'll go to Kuala Lumpur. You want research centers, I am ready to give you research centers. I am going to give you anything you need. But believe in yourselves, believe that you can create surplus, not deficit. We all need to create surplus. That is how Pakistan is going to grow. My belief is, I'll share, Pakistan today is a $350 billion plus economy, 250 million people. I have a belief that people sitting here just do what they have done for their own companies. Uncle Bashir was a chartered accountant. Look at where he is today. All of you are success stories. Why is Pakistan not a success story? Tell me one reason. 75 years, all of you are success stories sitting here. Why is Pakistan not a success? Because we think for ourselves, not for our country. Let's work for our country. We have to believe in our country. This $350 billion plus economy, 250 million, has to be 1 trillion in 5 years. This $30 billion export today has to be $100 billion in 5 years. That has to be the aim. That has to be the objective. That has to be the spirit. Long live Pakistan. Long live Pakistanis. Thank you.